these connection issues, man. That's
And look,
essentially tough.
we just hit 5K and we about to lose all our followers now.
I swear to God, man. Like, oh man, I beg for forgiveness, man. Everybody, man. Sincere apologies, man. There's a lot of connection issues going on. Like anybody here in Sampson County, y'all know, and I ain't throwing no shots because I love Miss Bullard to death. But internet be internet, and sometimes, man, it ain't the old days where everything is hardwired and things go without a hitch. Um, be having connection issues, man. And then it's supremely tough to keep Chris, you know what I'm saying, with him being so far away.
Yeah, that's tough.
This time, this was on me, man. My internet went out. I had to reset the router and all that stuff, man. You know, they said, oh, leave your box off for 30 seconds, all stuff, 30 seconds,
Uh,
3 minutes.
then it's got the boot back up. Heck yeah.
Look, man, we in the country, man. We in the sticks. We in the sticks, man.
Mm.
Yeah, I mean that's the
Hey, look,
reason why WRAL and all them jokers don't be
I
coming down.
wish I
These connection issues are tough. But be honest, we're gonna do a full season recap within the next week. Even though
Right.
basketball season is getting started, we're gonna do a full season recap. Because Maynard, while we have you, and we definitely want to try to get Coach Oates on here at
Hmm.
some point. But like your thoughts about Union season, man. Looking at the growth and the progression, though that the record doesn't reflect how you guys have improved. You know, what are the bright spots that you see coming out of that program?
Um, I would like to say first and foremost, first and foremost, we definitely wanted a better season. We had the roster to have a really great season. Um, we continue to take steps, but coaches always saying, it's time for more than a step. We need to take that leap. We need to take that, that left or right turn and press the gas. Um, as far as the season goes, I mean, comparing from last year to this year, I mean, I'm super proud of the guys on how they fought in a lot of the games that we were in against some of the top dogs in the state. North Duplin, we was tied up with them, and then we had some mistakes in the second half, fumbling the ball, which that will be addressed in the off season. That's something minor that can be fixed, but um, that being our quarterback's first time playing quarterback, he didn't do bad for his first year. Um, Overall, what can I say about these kids, man? They come to work every day. They, I mean, they come to work. Um,
I
Tobias
interviewed
Kenny,
I
Jaden
interviewed
Murphy.
Coach Stevens last week. He said he eradicated a lot of that notion that people think they can show up whenever they want to show up,
Right.
and they're still going to be a part of the program. He said, "Man, we eradicated that early."
Yeah. I mean, we did too. I mean, there were some guys that turned in them shoulder pads and helmets because there's just stuff that we're not going to put up with as a program.
Mhm.
Um, so you know, but as far as guys missing practice, unless they were really injured, like we had a couple collarbones that were broke, stuff like that. So I mean, we had guys miss practice, but not like just blatantly miss practice. Um,
Saying I'm not gonna show up because I want to go get a haircut
right, 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 right,
and all that stuff.
right. I mean, if we got to stop giving these kids excuses like all the way around, and this is any Sampson County school. I know we all in a rural area, and these are different. There's a lot of single parent homes. There's a lot of kids living with their grandmother homes. You know what I mean? So
Yes, sir.
um, it's like I told you last night or the other night we was on the phone talking. These kids got to learn how to become leaders, natural born leaders. They got to learn how to have a voice, especially if you're one of the guys on the team, and everybody know who that guy is or those guys are. The guys
Mm.
that show up to every practice, to every workout, the guys and they're the ones that show out on the field. The ones that put in the work. You will start to see your benefits. I mean, let's take Jaden Murphy for example.
Yep.
One of the smallest cats on our team, number 11. But he will lay the boom like he's one of the biggest. He's got the biggest heart I've ever seen in a kid that small. And if he keeps working, you know, size is only size. I mean I I can't speak enough about our main guys, but we need them to bring along these other guys. And as
Mm.
as far as the season goes, we were in a lot of games that shoulda, coulda, woulda
Yep.
done, but we didn't. Um, we we gave away a lot of games. We were like, here, you can have this. Just off simple off mental mistakes. It's like it's fumbling the ball, jumping off sides, getting a flag here and there. Crucial times of the game, you get a flag, offsides or a false start penalty, or you fumble the ball, a scoop and score on you. So I think if we clean that up, and we got like 11 seniors coming back, nine seniors, 9 10 seniors coming back, and we got close to 20 some sophomores that's going to be juniors, and then we got our sophomore freshman class, and shoot, hopefully we get some transfers in. You just never know. So I look forward to next season. I'm ready to work. I'm ready to get into weightlifting and speed drills, and you know just working with these guys again, and maybe we can double it or triple our wins from this season to next season. That's the plan. It's always to improve, always to get better. Um,
Yes, sir.
we only got Tobias and them and Kenny Ray, and I know I keep naming a lot of these guys the same, but a lot of these guys are the same guys that do not miss a practice, do not miss
Right.
any workouts, and then these are the same kids that go home in the valley over there in Garland, and they put in more work.
Yep.
I mean, I'm talking about straight. Let's take Kenny Ray Bailey for example. This past year, he was playing AAU basketball, coming to football workouts, and then it would have a game after football workouts after he done worked out that day, and then go home and work out more in football.
Fact.
You see what I'm saying? So that's the type of guys that we have right now, and they see that this coaching staff that Coach Oates put together this year. I mean, I think we were more together than our staff has been together in a while. We've been there. We've been there for them kids. We show them what accountability is, being there every day, seeing the same faces, and motivating them to be not just better football players but better men in their community. So um, I know Coach Oates has got way more details than me. I'm just giving you a broad spectrum of how I felt
Right.
about the season. I definitely, in general, I definitely felt we could have done a whole lot better. Um, my and I take accountability for my section, for my position that I coach. We just couldn't hold the outside down. We couldn't do outside contain this year for nothing. My linebackers, We played good against a lot of teams, but there was some teams that gave us some trouble on the outside, and that really hurt us really bad. And we're definitely gonna work on that this offseason. We're gonna get faster and we're gonna get stronger. We're gonna blow through those blocks. We're gonna learn how to shed those blocks, and we're gonna learn how to be torpedoes to the ball. So Union's coming. You,
Stay tuned.
you stay tuned. We coming.
Mr. Harris, I'm trying to get you back in, man.
Yo,
Not not
yeah,
not not asking
it's
you to
bad out here sometimes,
I
but it's
know,
all good.
we know.
Um,
We're not asking you to be what they say a couch quarterback. What is kind of your
what's
recap
up?
regarding alumni with your alma mater?
What? I'm sorry. What was the question? I couldn't hear
What's
you, man.
kind of your recap of your alma mater?
Um, I mean,
Mm,
just like what I said before, man. A lot of close games. You look at how our our season went. We ended the regular season 5-5. Pender, East Duplin. You think about it, in all those games, we had second half leads, and just little things here and there, slip out of reach, and um, it's some positive there because you were in these games with these good teams. Some of them still, in the playoffs, but just gotta learn how to finish. We got a lot coming back next year. We got some good pieces coming back on the offensive side of the ball. Only lose one starting. You got your quarterback back. Couple wide receivers. Running back's gonna be back. Missing losing a big piece of your defense on with Jaden Williams graduating. But like I said, it's potential there, man. I feel like I said, we're gonna have a lot of offensive firepower next year. So scoring points shouldn't be an issue. But and we'll see how we recover on defense. But we got a lot of good pieces coming back, so I'm optimistic. You got nothing but optimism heading into the off season. But yeah, definitely kind of leaves you wanting. There's a lot of games we could have won. You think if you're going into this, going to the one a better seed, better man. You know how playoffs come down to match. That high Andrew game.
dang.
He was getting into it too, man. Ah!
Mm. Yeah, man. That's one thing about. And when I was over there twice, the sucky part was it was back in 2006 and stuff. So they really stat phone was the only way, or email was the only way to contact home. You couldn't do none of this back then.
Yeah, my bad. I know I got cut off again. So,
You good, bro?
but like I was saying, just we left a lot on the table there, but I feel like we're heading in the right direction. So we'll get back to it.
I think so. I think so too. Um, I'm optimistic about all the teams in Sampson County, and this ain't me just taking a PC stance on it. I know everybody's like, "Oh, ain't you Mr. Hopton, Team Hopton, and all this stuff." Um, them boys, I watched back on NFHS. Them boys fought, man, but like when I interviewed Coach Scronts last week when they defeated Lakewood, he said that he wanted that team to get an up close and personal look at a program like Tarboro, so you guys can kind of see what the standard is. This is what we aspire to be. That's not no glazing. That's not no accepting defeat before you
Uh,
take the field. Like it's really saying like you've seen how
hey,
dominant
that's
this program has been. Like you said last week, Chris. That's a program. That's what we aspire to be.
That
and to get to
is
see
a
them, that is a
program, sir.
program. That's a program. And when you get to see things up close and personal like that, man, it's a little easier to emulate instead of just looking on Max Preps and trying to see what their numbers look like. You actually seeing how they operate, how they move, how hard they are punching off the line, how quick they running off the blocks. You know what I mean? How much they're dipping their shoulders and driving through
Yes,
your
sir.
chest. You know what I'm saying? These kids nowadays, and this ain't no shot at nobody, man. But this just the facts of life regarding the generation of kids that we have now. They learn from practical application. You can talk to them all day and tomorrow. You can say, "Hey, this is how it's gonna happen." All right, I hear you. I hear you. I hear you. But until you touch that fire, until you go through that, that's when they really learn to be like, "Oh, this is what old school
Mm.
was talking about. This is what Unc was talking about,
Hey,
bro."
hey,
That
look, I
that
tried.
that
Hey, look.
practical application hits these kids different because it shows them and it makes it real to them.
Mm.
It makes it real to them. They can hear the words all day and tomorrow. You can talk to them till you blue in the face. When they actually feel it, then they be like, "Oh, I see what Unc was talking about. I see what Coach was talking about." And they had to feel it. They had to feel it. They had to go through it. They had to see it last night. They had to see it last night.
Oh yeah.
And
I
as
don't know. Have
much
y'all
I
already
wanted
touched
that
on the
Cinderella
some of the
story,
games?
man. We touched on some, but
Okay.
there's a couple of them. There's a couple of them that I really wanted to
Now
highlight
I
because
was going. Well, I was going to ask. Nah, because it's a
me
couple. It
there's
was a
some
couple
upsets.
surprises last night, man.
North Duplin in the
Yeah,
two
one of my
overtimes.
biggest. Yeah, one of my. South coming into Beautiful and being. I looked at that game and I said, I kind of was like, okay, yeah, because Southwest is they're one of those teams that they're you will never know what you gonna get week to week from them because they play some tough teams. If you look at their schedule, I mean, one of their losses to Nash Central that was because of a ineligible player, but two out of those you take that one away. Two out of their four losses, one of them came from Tarboro, and one of them came to West Craven. Both of those teams are still playing playoff football, and I guess they get the rematch with West Craven this coming Friday. So, but yeah, just seeing and I hated to see East Duplin fall out like that because we got a lot of we got it's a lot of good people out there in Beulaville. Shout out to East Duplin and their radio broadcast crew, Ryan Sutherland, Gino
Yep.
Kennedy, Ryan. They're always up here supporting the podcast. So hated to see them bow out, man. That's a tough way to to end their season. A lot of seniors on that East Duplin team, so sad to see that. Another one that really kind of got me, man. Northern Nash being 71st. That was another one that I was like, oh man, because we really talked up 71st a lot throughout the season, and they pretty much ran their division for the past 2 years. So yeah, but no, I mean Northern Nash is a solid program too. So I mean, it wasn't
Yeah.
like it's not like an upset, but
Yeah.
seeing 71st fall in the playoffs like that, man, it's not something you're used to seeing. And of course, my last one I would have to talk about, and I don't know if he's up here, if y'all seen him this morning, but man, Charles Williams, Northside Jacksonville knocking off St. Paul's in the playoffs. I was like, come on, I was like, oh man, Mr. Charles.
Mr. Charles ain't been here
Oh,
since his
but yeah,
71st loss, man. He
yeah,
ain't showed his face since his 71st loss.
but yeah, he ain't really been up here like that. But I was like, dang. But shout out to Northside Jacksonville. I did a post on them earlier this season, and what for the last what maybe 3 or 4 years they might have won 7 games combined.
Hmm.
Now here we go this year. They're in the fourth round of playoffs. So shout out to them for really turning things around. But yeah, as you can see from the list, some upsets and
What do
blowouts and
you
some
think
really
about
close ones, man. Look at
Roseville,
that. Look at that.
man? Did you
Hey,
think Roseville
I
versus
think
Hogger was gonna?
I didn't think it was gonna be that bad. Hogger stack, man. Hogger stack. So them
We
winning
know.
doesn't surprise me, but
Hmm.
them beating Roseville the way they beat them, I did not see that coming.
That caught me off guard, bro. I didn't think it
Yeah,
was gonna be that big of a deficit.
no,
Um,
no. But
between the two teams, man.
shout out to Hogger, man. The boys they playing some really good football, man, and in the toughest, most stacked division, So shout out to them boys out there in Wilmington. And look at that Jacksonville Scotland game, man. That was probably a really, really good game.
Yeah, it
Thirty
had to be.
five, 34 ended the whew. But yeah, a lot of
In
like hey,
Jacksonville,
this that time of the year,
everybody
man.
was looking
Playoffs,
at
man.
Jacksonville like Jacksonville was somebody to pick on. I think I said something about those military schools um
Yeah.
getting picked on a little bit, and I got to eat crow on that. I got to walk that back
Well, I know at
because
the beginning of the season, I wasn't too high. I thought they lost a lot to graduation. I thought they were pretty senior
yeah,
heavy last year, but hey, I mean, when teams like that, man, they don't. What they say, they don't rebuild, they reload, and they definitely reloaded. So
right.
they're right back in the thick of it. And some may say, they maybe the favorite in that division now with with the way they've been playing. So I mean, it's gonna be interesting next week, man. We're gonna the cream of the crop is at the top now. You know what I'm saying? They
Yeah,
always talk about the true measuring stick of a good team if you're playing on Thanksgiving week. So
and then we have to acknowledge these people because they've been chirping real heavy, man. And now it's time for me to get the PTSD off of my back. What happened to them Pin the Patriots out
who's
there?
that? Oh,
What happened to the Pin the Patriots
and
out there?
that was another
Because
game. That was another game that I was really intrigued with going into this week. The different styles. Pinder
hmm
being option team run heavy, and Northeastern being more of a modern offense, throw it around a little bit more you know more balanced. So seeing how that game was going to go, that was interesting, man. The one thing that's kind of rough with when you got a run based offense like that, if you get down a touchdown or two and it's late,
you can't.
that type of offense, unless you're hitting the big plays, that it's really time consuming and kind of hard to get back into the game. But like I told y'all about Northeastern earlier, man. As long as Antonio Moore is coaching out there, they're going to be in the conversation, man.
Mhm.
A lot of people kind of slept on them this year because they lost a couple games, but I've seen that happen before, and I don't know, what his pregame, pre-playoff speeches are like, but somehow every year, man, they're playing football still. So shout
Putting
out to
that
him and
battery in their back.
shout out to my oh yeah, and shout out to my guy from NC Preps, man, Mr. Ashley Cartwright. He's always up here giving me updates on what they got going on at Northeast. Sometimes he what they call it. Sometimes he be trying to downplay it like they bad or something. I'm like, nah, I know
Oh,
your
dude, the
game,
white
man.
man can't
They
jump.
ain't as bad as you. Yeah, yeah. He be trying to like make it sound like they nah. I feel like I know your game, man. You do that mess every year. And here y'all are still playing. So
Right. Trying to defuse them. Trying to defuse them, man.
mm,
Again, fall sports for Sampson County, and this is what I can speak on. Um, Sampson County's fall sports is done. I got to give a shout out to the Clinton Dark Horses and their soccer team for a valiant effort that they put out in regionals. I wrote about that in today's paper. Those guys are they're a standard, man. They're a standard regarding their sport. And for Hopton to be the last team standing, granted, Sampson County got screwed by having two Sampson County teams having to play against each other after both of them having buys. I really want to question what is the Scientology behind this bracket system that they made. I don't see how that even happened. But Hopton has nothing to hang their heads down on regarding the effort they
Oh no,
put against
oh
Bro.
no.
Um remember we have well documented this. Those guys only had what like 3 4 weeks of an off season with their head coach. Tarboro has had
Yeah,
the
for them to
second
accomplish what they have
of the
accomplished
year.
this year, and I mean, getting beat by Tarboro in the playoffs. Like I said, it's nothing. They'll do that same thing to majority of teams. So you ain't got to feel bad about that, man. It's just you know you just ran up against a really good team, but that doesn't relinquish anything that they've accomplished this year. Like I said, they was the last Sampson County team standing, share of the conference championship.
Mhm.
You know, all that's in year one of Coach Grant. So if you're a Hopkins fan, you should be really excited about the future and the continued growth of that program. So
I
it's
think
only up from here.
call me crazy. If they beat North Duplin and they get the seeding that North Duplin had against Holmes, they win that game. Am I crazy?
And possibly still, like I said, it just sometimes it's just how that because what we say about the playoffs. I mean, sometimes it comes down to matchups and
Mhm.
how it lines up, and I
Yeah,
had lost
they
connection
had.
for a second. You still hear me, right?
I hear you. No, yeah, they had you breaking up real bad.
No, I think if or if I mean I don't know if you heard me when I said just a tough draw. You know, like I said, if you end up on the same side of the bracket with Tarboro, you know that's just that's it's what it is. But yeah, it's all about seeding matchups, and that one game that you lost ends up playing a big dividend on where you get seeded at, and just like I talked about with Clinton,
Yeah.
it's all about matchups. You get a bad matchup, and just it just happens something like that sometimes.
So with us being in this first year of the realignment, how are you feeling personally about these? Everybody gets a piece, no matter how bad your record is, no matter how bad your season was. This year, it felt like everybody can get placed somewhere, and they're bringing down 3 A's to play 2 A's and 1 A's to play 2 A's or 4 A's to play 5 A's just to make sure that the bracket fits.
Well,
Does this formula work?
my well for the association it does because they're
Because
getting
everybody making money.
their money. Like I said, you could cut down the playoffs one round because you gave. I mean, all these buys were like I said, that's one round of the playoffs where you could just really technically just they want the income. I want to say the biggest change is, have you seen the ticket prices? how the
Yeah,
ticket prices have
ten
jumped
dollars.
or jumping in the playoffs.
$10.
Oh, it's going up. It was actually
Is it going?
14 last night for most places.
Oh yeah,
And the next
playoffs
round
go
is
up. Yeah, playoffs go up. I was just talking about
and the
regular
next
season.
the next round is going to be 16.
And your season passes don't even count.
Yeah, so I mean, I'm used to, I think it was back when I was going to the games a lot when I was home. It was like $7 during the regular season, and it might get up to 10 during the playoffs. Now, like I said, it's round
ten
three.
dollars for a regular
And
event.
somebody made a funny comment last night. If you go back and look at the game, the score update thread, someone said the first victory of the night was the NCHS over him because he had to pay that $14 for his ticket.
Big
But
facts.
yeah, so it was 14 this week. It's gonna be I think it's gonna be like 16 next week. So the state championship you probably paying 20.
Facts. And then
Yeah, so
I forgot what coach. I think I ain't gonna say no names, but the coach told me like during the playoffs, sometimes they don't even get their gate because you have to pay for the visiting team's travel.
mm,
Unless you make it to like the third or fourth round, you're not really
mm.
seeing no profit because you have to pay for the team's travel and all that.
Ooh, well, I feel sorry for. I wonder how much Robbinsville had to pay East Columbus to travel out.
Bro, that was a like yo, when I saw that map, bro, when you posted that map, I was like, wait a minute, bro. There's no way. Those kids didn't go to school
That's what
that
that.
day.
Well, that's what we talked about when we said they just got to try to I don't know, they got to do something different as far as this seeding and stuff goes because I understand there's a limited team, especially in the lower divisions when it comes to East and West. But look, ain't nothing west about Sampson County. Ain't nothing west about Columbus County. We it just you gotta switch that somehow, some way. I don't know. Like I said,
There's
I'm
no
not
reason for
smart enough
Clinton
to
to
come
be
up with a
playing
solution. It's gonna take
Southwestern
us.
Randolph.
It's gonna take a smarter. It's gonna take a smarter man than me. But a team shouldn't have to travel that distance for a third round playoff game. Man.
Right.
It's and I understand it's happened before. I understand everyone had their story about it happened this year. I get it, but it shouldn't happen. It shouldn't have to happen. Period.
Right.
That's kind of that's kind of crazy, man. A team having to travel that far for on an activity bus or hopefully they charter the bus. I hope too, but yeah, that's too far to be going for a
they
football
they
game,
do
man.
that for states and stuff, but it almost feel like gerrymandering. Not trying to cross politics with sport,
Hmm.
but these lines, these maps, the map's not mapping. You can't call this the East Regional, and then you're playing the team in Ashby.
Uh,
You can't
like I
call it
said,
you
they
can't call it the
the
East semifinal or this is the Eastern Conference, but you're playing the team in daggone Davidson County. Like that stuff doesn't make sense, bro. Logistically, none of it makes sense. I understand that,
yeah,
and
yeah. Like I
we
said,
we've
you
stated
take a
this.
map and yeah,
We stated that it's
it
about
doesn't.
population of the school. It's not about the talent of the school. It's about the population of the school. But yet and still, you telling me
But like
out
I
of
said,
all
they
these
have their
100 counties,
they have their numbers of teams, and if the team they got to have a certain amount of teams on this side, and when it comes to the 1A, like I said, especially like the lower divisions 1A and 2A, you don't really see it that much in the bigger divisions. Though you did see it a little bit because I think they had Richmond County. They had Richmond County in the West, and of course, if you look at the 4A,
don't lose me now, bro. No.
Yeah, I don't know what the solution is, man, but yeah, you just hope that it doesn't happen. It doesn't happen that much, and hopefully the team, the school gets well compensated for having to, you know, do that type of traveling.
Hopefully. Somebody getting the money, up here
And I
charging
know I,
12, $15
yeah,
at the gate.
well,
Somebody getting paid.
yeah, somebody getting money, man. uh, I don't know if there's any other matchups you wanted to touch up on, or you want to kind of
What's
look
coming up,
forward to
man?
next week
Yes, sir.
coming up. All right, all right, all right. He's Bladens on deck. Step on,
Ah!
step right up, step right up.
Hey, what Goldberg used to say? Who's next? That is, man, somebody got to dethrone Tar,
Hey,
bro, man. Somebody got to take care of that, man. This ain't no hate towards Tar, bro,
look,
man.
like I said, I've been really high on Tarboro all year, and I was pretty high on them last year. And I talked to I talked to some guys from NC Preps, and guys that are really knowledgeable Tarboro fans, and they told me, they like, look, man, that Tarboro team that did so well in the playoffs last year that y'all were talking about. I'm like, yeah, yeah, yeah. Well, this team's better. I said, well, damn, because that's scary. Because last year that was a really really good football team. So I'm saying, you're saying this team's better? Yeah, okay. Let me go ahead and
Yeah.
pencil Tarboro in. Look, I've been pretty consistent with it, man. If you look at my preseason predictions, if you look at my middle of the season predictions till now, I haven't wavered from that, and they have not shown me anything to waver from that. And nothing against East Bladen. East Bladen's had a great season, but yeah, it's if you're going to beat, from what I've heard, if you're going to beat Tarboro, you do it next year. They're going to be really young next year, so that's your best. That sounds like that's your best chance, man. Because I just
Damn.
I well, we play the game for a reason, but like I said before, it's going to take a lot to go bad for them to lose for them not to be playing in the state championship. So
We don't call them the Tarboro Vikings. We call them Tarboro the program.
that's an institution over out there, man. Ah,
Oh man. Well, I was hoping Holland didn't get those.
yeah, they got. I was looking at the list. I was looking at their list of just the championships, and I'm like, yeah,
They might as well do what Reese
they got a lot to
did,
be
bro.
proud of,
You
man.
know what I'm saying? They might as well put that sign that said Tattletown when you pull in. Have you been to
I
Reesville?
mean, they,
Have you seen Reesville sign?
yeah,
That joke, when that joke say Tattletown, bro, that is a little intimidating. I can't hold you. When you pulled into the
yeah.
stadium, joint say Tattletown already. It's like, damn. Like,
Now now looking at this list of looking at this list, that Kinston and Northeastern game. I
hmm
feel like that's going to be. Remember what we thought the Kinston and Midway game was going to be?
that's what it actually gonna be.
I think this is what is, because remember we thought that Kinston and Midway game was going to be
A shootout.
a straight up race to 50.
Yep.
I feel like you might get this. You might get that with this Kinston Northeastern game. Two really talented quarterbacks, a ton of athletes on the field. Yeah, it's gonna be it's gonna be a high pace type of game. So I'm looking for that one. Definitely take the over. We was wrong about the Kinston Midway one. I think this one's gonna be this one's gonna be the real shootout. Um, Looking at that, Wilson Prep Northside Pontown. Hey, look,
Yeah.
people sleeping on Wilson Prep. I said, look, you see the schedule. You see Wilson Prep schedule. What they who they played in the non-conference. I said, yeah, they lost some games, but I said that team is gonna be prepared for the playoffs. And sure
Wasn't
enough, they beat.
wasn't Wilson Prep the only ones that was giving Tarboro troubles like that?
I mean, they played them in the regional championship last year, but they really didn't have nothing for them. But I mean, I guess they gave them the best shot, if that makes sense. But nah, yeah, a lot of people looked at Wilson Prep was like, oh, they're 5-5. I said, look who they played, man.
Yeah, they played up.
Now they definitely, like I said, the Kip Pride was the number one seed, and I mean Wilson Prep just blew them out. So
That's right.
Northside, I did say the preseason though. I looked at Northside Pinetown. I said if anybody's gonna challenge them, it's gonna be this. So this
You
is
called
probably
it.
this is the game I expected to see. Yeah, so I'm looking forward to seeing how that one turns out. Um, and I really ain't got too. We got to talk about James Keenan, man. James Keenan Farmville. Like I said, I kind of already tipped my hand to towards James Keenan, but I
Yeah,
mean
shout out to all the
respect to
sponsors,
Farmville because
man.
like I said, they're playing some really good football. And I talk about, oh yeah, definitely shout out to the sponsors.
Cause the
But
2 out of 3 they all JK pick.
yeah, they're playing some really fun. I think all three. I'm pretty sure all three are based in that Warsaw area, I believe. But like I said, Farmville's playing some good football, but James Keenan, they just a machine this year. They're on a mission, and I got them hosting the Eastern Championship game right there in Warsaw, Bill Taylor Field. So um, well, we'll see what happens, but yeah, James Keenan versus Kinston, the winner of Kinston versus Northeast, or winner of Kinston versus Northeastern. We got some really good football to look forward to. So and hopefully we'll be talking about James Keenan maybe possibly going to a state championship. We'll get there when we get there, but
Yeah,
definitely a lot. If you're a Tiger fan, man, you're excited, man. You're having a great season.
most definitely, most definitely, man. Shout out to them Tigers, man. Even though I still got enemies because of the Super Six, I ain't forgot. Them jokers was putting steroids in that water, man. Them jokers was built different. That Super Six, and them jokers traumatized me. It was traumatizing over there. But before we hop off over here, man, I'm gonna do a real quick shout out on my behalf. Just say thank you to everybody in Sampson County, man. Um, Seeing the court dedication to Coach Strickland, um, so many people came out to show him love, to see the court being dedicated to him. It was awesome. It was awesome. I know almost all of his
Oh yeah.
family. You know what I mean? Because we grew up right down the road from each other, but to see the amount of love of his former players, um, Coach Spell and the AD from Sensa Middle and all those guys to put together that whole thing for him, bringing out buying the retro jerseys, bro, bringing out the blue and whites, the Rams, bringing out those retro jerseys for him. That was awesome, bro. That was top tier. And it just shows that shows like how much people can actually remember you, man.
Oh
Coaching
yeah.
is a thankless job. You only get one stipend at the end of the season, and that's it. It's not no extra boost to your paycheck. Teachers only get paid once a month. Full disclosure for those that don't know, teachers get paid once a month.
Working for the state of North Carolina, I know.
You know what I'm saying? And then coaching, you only get paid at the end of the season when the season's over. So it's a thankless job sometimes, man. And for that man to do it for that long, man, just because of the love that he had for those young students and want to see them progress. I asked him in the interview, it's in the article, how intricate do you think, that middle school coaching position is? It's very intricate because you are grooming them and preparing them for high school ball. You are trying to make those young men become men prior to them having to get to that harsh reality that just because I was the man at Royal Lane, just because I was the man at Weeks Park, when you play that organized ball, it's a difference. Like it's not the same.
Oh yeah.
It's not like being the man in your backyard, bro. Playing that organized ball is a difference. And middle school ball is normally some of the first introductions of real organized ball. Even if you're talking about rec, like sometimes a lot of rec coaches they just let you they roll out the balls and say, "Hey, go shoot, go make a bucket, have fun." But in middle school, they're trying to teach you how to run plays, how to run sets, how to run presses, how to beat a press. You know what I mean? And Coach Strickland did that for a lot of young men out there in the Clinton State schools. So I want to just take this time to give a big
Do
shout
this
out to
one right
him.
here.
And say again?
Oh, now you said he did that for a lot of young men in Clinton State schools. I said including this one right here.
Facts, facts. Yeah, Mr. Dawson, I'm telling the truth, bro. I'm telling you the God honest truth. I'm not making this up. Coaches only get paid once the season is over. You don't get no extra stipend per month, and you get paid when the season is done. So anything that's transpiring and happening during the season, and you think about basketball, basketball is almost like it's double time for football. You're playing 2 games a week. And I remember trying to get bananas into these kids, Gatorade into these kids, water into these kids. You can get water from the school and whatnot. But man, coaching JV, you ain't got no time to stop and get no food. As soon as we get to they, as soon as we get to their school, you know what I mean. By the time they get dressed and they stretched and they warmed up, it's time to play. And these kids ain't ate since 11 o'clock or whatever. The jokes be like, "Oh, I'm hungry. I'm hungry. Oh, I need something to eat." You know what I'm saying? It was tough. And I was spending that bread out of my own pocket to make sure that I could at least, what I'm saying, get them some sandwiches, get them some bananas and stuff. And then shout out to the parents that contributed. Like that never go forgotten, especially during track season. Um, Jason Johnson's mama and Nathan Miller's parents and all that, man. Like, thank y'all for what y'all provided to the program. And those things they probably don't go notice, but I definitely need to reflect and say thank y'all. Because those kids look at us like, okay, we stop at McDonald's on the way to a track meet? What are you crazy? But it takes a village, man. Pender lost, thank God. Excuse me. I didn't say that. I was immediately responding to Mr. Simpson's comment. Pender, I gotta get over that Pender stuff, man. I need to go talk to my therapist. The joke said, "What happened with Pender and Northeastern?" I don't. Pender lost. I'm happy. I'm happy Pender lost.
Hey, look, my bad, man. I got cut off again. But real quick, since you was talking about it, man, let me just kind of give my shout out to Strickland, man. If anybody's watching that knows him on this, man, I really appreciate it. But just want to let you know, Coach, man, I appreciate everything you did for for me growing up and all the lessons and stuff that you taught us, man. I still carry with me to this day, man. And I'm glad to see you, get your flowers. And it's always good to get you, really, you deserve it. You deserve all that. So really appreciate that. I'm glad I got to see it.
Man, it was a beautiful
And,
thing
oh,
to
real
go.
quick, man. Let me tell you, man. You remember Nick Cooper, right?
Yeah, I know Nick.
Our running back.
Yeah,
Hey, look
Mr.
now, look.
Winston
Funny
Salem,
story, Coach.
Mr.
Funny
Winston
story.
Salem State.
Yeah, yeah, funny story. Coach Strick was a trip, man. He gave Nick his first nickname, right? Before he was Super Coop, he was Nick Fatback Cooper, and that mess. Hey, look, Coach Strickland actually put that in the new, had the newspaper of the sports reporter quote that in the newspaper, called him Nick Fatback Cooper.
Nah, y'all can't cut him out in the middle of the story, man. Come on, Middle East, man. He had me deep into the story.
Strick getting you know,
Are you back with
oh
us?
my, get cut off.
Yeah, they had you lagging, bro.
Uh, uh, well, I was just telling a
You
story.
was talking about Nick Fatback Cooper, which
Yeah, Coach Strick
I gotta
actually
send
put it
him this
had the
joint.
yeah, so man, he actually put that in the newspaper, and we was dying laughing. And his, Coop's dad got mad about it, but it was funny though, man. Yeah, we was me and I showed Nick coach, getting the jersey and having the name on the court and everything. I had shared talking about it earlier, so I want to try to get him up here so he can talk about it, but yeah, he was a little bit busy, but yeah, that's always something funny we always talked about, man. Those practices out there was a trip, man. It was always a good time. But yeah, shout out Coach Strick, man. Anybody knows him, man. Show him, share this video with him, man.
Well, it was deep. It was deep. It was deep last night, man. For real, for real. Not well, Thursday night. It was deep out there, man. A lot of people, a lot of people showed him love, man, and that was a beautiful thing to see, man. He deserves it. Um, Seeing those
Oh yeah.
Ram jerseys gave me flashbacks. For
Ooh,
real. But I'm glad that people take that time to respect who came before you. You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
Um, I talked to Coach Ferrier a little bit after the game. And they said this is what it's all about, man. The standard is the standard and all that stuff. And I ain't trying to hype up just Sampson Middle and Clinton City schools, but like remembering legacies like that. And the cool thing that Coach Strickland told me about in our interview that we had is that the morning that he was getting the court dedication, he uh he was getting breakfast and ran into Coach Tommy Sloan, who was his coach when he was in school. And Tommy Sloan told him, I heard they're making a big to do about you over there in Clinton City School. That's all full circle, man. That's dope to me, man. That's dope to me. I love that, man. To see your coach tell the coach, you know what I'm saying? I'm proud of you. You know what I mean? I want to do that for TJ Morrison. I want TJ Morrison to look at me one day and say, "You did well, kid. You did good." I want to have that experience in my life, man. Well, we old men. I'm already starting to get a little grays and whatnot, but I want my coach to look back at me and it's like, "Hey, man, I see what you're doing for the community. Thank you. You like you did good. You did good." I'm about to get a buff here, man, because I don't know who Logan is, but hey, man, troll all you want to, baby. Coach Stevens, man, thank you a great deal for them words, man. Like, I'm glad you got your girls got that big win this week. You know what I'm saying? They got that W under their belt, being 1-1 out there at Hot the Middle. I see so many big things for Sampson County, man. So many big things for Sampson County, and we got to get over this whole mindset. Like, it's rivalries are fun, but they shouldn't be enemies. They shouldn't be met with hostility. You know what I mean? It ain't like, Eagles and Cowboys and Yankees and Met fans or Yankees and Red Sox fans and nothing like that. It shouldn't be hot when everybody truly understands that, when one win, we all win. I'll give a brief example. Clinton Soccer's last home game, I saw Union's head coach, Lakewood head coach, and one of Hopkins soccer coaches. All three of them, it was two coaches from Lakewood, but all of them was sitting together at a Clinton soccer game, supporting Clinton. This ain't me glazing for Clinton or no mess like that, but it's just showing unity of supporting the county, supporting the county, man. It's fun and all to have rivalries, man. That's beautiful, but it should never be animus. It should never be no hostility. We should root for one of another. The only time that I'm not gonna root for you is when you play against my team. But any other team, I hope you win. You know what I'm saying? That's in a perfect world. That's what I would love, man. Um, I'm wearing an LCK shirt right now. I ain't never attended no Clinton City School, but because of the respect that I have for Principal Dirks and the service that he has given this country, now that he is formally retired from the military, this man pulled double duty, still being enlisted and being a principal for a public school. Greg Dirks has my utmost respect. Sergeant Major Greg Dirks has my utmost respect. I love that man. I love him. Like he set a great example for all citizens to follow because he loved all the children. He loves everybody in the community. Why not? Why not? There's too much hate in this world, man. We're seeing all this stuff that's going on TVs, man. I ain't gonna get in that because it's not a political podcast. We're not gonna get in all that. But why not just show love to one another, man, and root for your neighbor, root for your county, root for all of us to succeed. Because when one of us succeed, we all succeed, man. I love you guys dearly. It's been a heck of a football season. Now we about to start bowling. Let's get into basketball, man. We're gonna make sure that we keep up with this, all right? And if you haven't already, go grab a copy of that Simpson Independent. Check out the sports section by your boy, man. Cause I give all the kids some love, man. I give all the kids some love. I don't care what school they from. I give all the kids love. But I love y'all. It's been a hell of a season. We're gonna do a season recap and we're gonna give our rewards out probably next week. So stay tuned for that. so you can hear our Buck Sweets Player of the Year and our Trench Warrior of the Year. I think we're gonna do a Coach of the Year too. Stay tuned. More life.